on Curiosity Stream. He allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimate.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy. An obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today, November 11th, we toast the same people that this day was meant to honor, which would be the veterans of the armed forces of the United States of America. It is just that simple. Today is Veterans Day, and look, I know that we civilians, we don't always do you proud with partisanship, all the petty squabbles, the seeming desire, anyway, to ensure that we just won't work together, even on common goals that would suit all of us. But for today, at the very least, I hope you at least accept our apology as civilians. But as civilians, maybe, just maybe, today of all days, we can learn something from and follow the example of teamwork, camaraderie, and unity for a common goal. Because that is what the military does. Because these people, much like us, come from different backgrounds and have different beliefs. And they have a different culture and all these different things. And they get together and they figure it out. And for some reason, as civilians, we're spoiled. First world problem. We just won't do it. At least in this country right now, it's a disgrace. It's a disgust. And I know we know that. But today, why don't we try to do our best? Because a lot of people put their best foot forward to try to do something that is positive for all of us. And again, as we said, Memorial Day, it's called the United States. You got a problem with that, go somewhere else. Anyway, veterans, thank you, all of you. It is just that simple, man, so let's drink.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Well said.
So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue, goddamn it, computer, and over and down the throat, come on, to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bitchona.
The men's room presents Profile This.
And Steve at Thrill Hill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Peyton. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Peyton, you understand how this here game is played? Hello? Well, fantastic.
Sure do.
You know you have your choice of one of three stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign objects that ended up on the inside of someone.
Mike, where are we going?
I think we learned a lot about our very own Mike Hawk. All right, here's the story. Sadly, Mike, this is not about the butt. In this case, it has to do with someone's nose. I know, sorry to disappoint you. As the story goes, when 23-year-old Hannah Hamilton got a sinus infection earlier this year, she did what doctors recommended, and she rested up. Now, little did she know this infection would send her on a voyage of discovery up her nose, where she found an object that had been lodged there for over 20 years. Quick side note. Does anyone else seem like there's been a remarkable uptick in people that have placed things in their nose decades ago only to remember that was there after they get something infected? Now, like they
Drug
said,
shortage.
Like many toddlers, Hannah said she has a vague recollection of sticking things up her nose, when she was a little child, but assumed it had made its way out on its own. She says, quote, "As far as I remember, I didn't tell my parents, which is a funny choice considering my mom was a nurse for 10 years. About a year ago, I was telling my fiancé, Zach, that I remembered sticking something in my nose as a little kid, but didn't remember it ever coming out. Of course, I assumed it was not a real memory, maybe something I'd seen or heard from a show or book. Well, Hannah, she had no reason to think that it really happened until she contracted that sinus infection. With her right nasal passage completely blocked, she thought the culprit was, quote, a giant booger. But when it wouldn't budge, Hannah used an earwax camera to see what was going on, seeing a flash of bright blue up her nose. Now, after some prying, the mystery object was dislodged, and she managed to blow it out. However, she hasn't quite gotten over the shock of the decades-old discovery. So she didn't have to go to the doctor for this. She did manage to get it out on her own. But the question is, what did she shove up her nose as a toddler? Was it a Lego, a bead, a button, or an eraser? So Lego, bead, button, or eraser, one of these things have been stuck in her nose for the last 20 years.
How old is she?
She is 23 now, so her memory takes her back about 20 years of being 3 years old.
I'm going to go with a bead.
A bead? All right.
A bead.
I had a daughter that had a button stuck in her esophagus.
Stop bragging.
For my pants. I'm going button.
So you said she did the math, so she would have been 3 when this happened?
3, and that's why she wasn't sure if it was a real memory or just something she saw on TV or whatever.
Yeah, I was leaning eraser, but I don't know that a 3-year-old would be using a pencil with an eraser. Right? Because kids aren't in
And it was blue and shiny.
You know what? I'm going to say bead.
Bead.
From bead?
Oh, look, I'm 3. Here's a bead. Let me shove it up there.
Peyton, what do you sticking with bead?
Exact quote, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Final answer?
Yep.
All right, we're going to find out what was up her nose. A Lego, a bead, a button, or an eraser next.
New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick, they even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
That was a tease.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Category is interior decorating. A woman found an object that had been lodged in her nose for some 20 years. Totally forgot about it. She has a vague memory of it, but she was 3 at the time, stuck it up in there, and either way, she was able to get it out when she had a sinus infection. So the question is, what was up in her nose? Lego, bead, a button, or an eraser?
Yes, indeed. And Peyton, that is the question that we posed to you. Unfortunately, let's start with Miles Montgomery.
Golly.
He guessed a button, which I understand. Again, and I've heard the story where Miles' daughter, when she was very young, ended up with a button lodged in her esophagus. So I can see why button is top of mind. However, it was not a button. And then, Peyton, you agreed with the Ted Smith and said a bead. Oddly enough, a lot of the people that checked in on online They also said a bead because apparently there's a TikTok video of a woman in a similar situation who blew the bead out of her nose. And you are correct.
Nice win. Yes. Nice win.
Actually, to his credit, I followed him today.
Oh, you followed
I think he'd gone final choice, and then I was like, you know what? I like beans. Beans.
Bead.
Not hungry at all.
Beans.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Tim.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today, Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
The Jimmies.
Okay. Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel.
James Corden.
Oh, James.
Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there to tell you all those guys have teams of talented writers. Help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Actor Paul Rudd has been named People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive.
Really?
Reclaiming the title he first received in 1938.
I hope that's you.
The Ted Smith.
Seth Meyers.
Damn it.
Actor Paul Rudd is People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive, reclaiming the title he first received in 1938.
There's a new lawsuit against Subway, accusing it of duping the public about its 100% tuna. It says lab tests show it contains chicken, pork, and beef proteins. Now we know why that tuna was so good.
The Ted Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, that is right.
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
I'm an unabolished Subway tuna eater.
I mean, that's it. Like, look, maybe you're on some weird diet and you can't have that. I get it. But I go like, okay, I'll take those.
Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
Great tuna.
Yeah.
It might be beef too, but I don't care.
You know what? I think we just gotta admit sometimes I just like tuna.
I do like tuna.
Yeah.
And even if your tuna's almost tuna, but you do it that well, I still like it.
I do like Jimmy John's. A little runnier.
Hey, Jimmy John's, you need to reopen the Columbia Tower, dog. Come on, man.
Yeah, help us out, Jim. The holidays are coming up, and because of a tight labor market, there is actually a shortage of mall Santas. Malls are desperate to find Santas. Today, in fact, Macy's put out a bowl of whiskey like they're trying to lure in a stray cat.
Fallon.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Well, the holidays are coming up, and I read that because of the tight labor market, there's actually a shortage of mall Santas. Yeah, malls are desperate to find Santas. Today, in fact, Macy's put out a bowl of whiskey outside the store like they're trying to lure a stray cat.
Wow. You know, it's not just Santas, man. You don't have a Santa in the mall. It's also affecting elves.
It is. I told you the last Santa elf I saw.
Yeah, it's
back to sandwiches.
Yeah. When you go through there was a guy that used to work at a fast food place who we were not particularly fans of. And I take my kids to get their picture taken with Santa. And sure enough, this elf turns around. And that elf, I'll give him credit. He wasn't making toys, but he took your information to get your pictures. I'm like, this is the guy that we call
you
the blank
bought the wrong
Nazi.
picture package.
I know.
I just thought it was, like, I always felt like elves with Santa was it seems like a first job or second job for high school kids.
I don't think Santa's hiring you fresh out of high school, bro.
Oh, man, I know a bunch of people that did it.
Oh, you mean at the mall?
At the mall.
I thought you meant North Pole.
Okay.
I'm like,
No,
bro,
no,
that
at the mall.
that's union labor.
40% of Americans said they approve of Sesame Street's Big Bird announcing on social media that he got a coronavirus vaccine. They were less comfortable, though, with hearing why Oscar needed to get the Hep C vaccine.
Ted, I hope it's you.
Seth Meyers.
That's Meyers.
40% of Americans said that they strongly approve of Sesame Street's Big Bird announcing on social media that he got a coronavirus vaccine. They were less comfortable, though, with hearing why Oscar needed the Hep C vaccine.
My defense, though, I had a similar joke yesterday with Oscar the Grouch in it, and that was before Seth Meyers had aired.
Yeah, living rent-free. I see what he does.
So are you listening right now, Seth? I bet you are. The North American Meat Institute will meet the Paris Climate Agreement emissions target by 2030.
No, they won't.
When I heard this, my first thought was, there's a North America Meat Institute? Sounds less like a real organization. and more like you would read on a shirt on a dude at CrossFit.
Jimmy Fallon.
Kimmel.
That's Fallon.
Hey, here's some good news. The North American Meat Institute said it will reach Paris Agreement emission targets by 2030. When I heard, my first thought was, there's a North American Meat Institute? Sounds less like a real organization, more like something you'd read on a shirt of a dude at CrossFit.
That's a pretty good one.
That's not bad.
Let's see. So Nicole Kidman, I don't know if you saw this. She's going to be Lucille Ball, who, of course, was a famous TV actress.
Right, yeah.
It's also weird, though, today. And this is where people just stop. So Nicole Kidman is playing Lucille Ball. Then I saw today on Twitter that Deborah Messing was trending.
Okay.
And they were like, she should be Lucille Ball because she has red hair and this and that. Like, right, okay. Look, they already cast the thing.
It's done.
It's done.
It's over.
And it's like, right, like, I mean, I don't know. It'd be like watching sports for me and being like, I wish that guy played for my team. You know what I mean? And you would say
that. But they haven't even played yet, and you haven't even seen them play.
You just
right, we have no idea how the movie is. But I'm just like, what? Who cares?
You know what? Years ago, when they put out the first Batman movie, they announced that Michael Keaton was going to play the role of Batman. And there's a backlash, and people are freaking out and all this. They're like, I can't believe this guy's a comedic actor. He can't play Batman. Blah, blah, blah. The movie was huge. Everyone was fine with Michael Keaton playing Batman.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Just, see the movie first. If it sucks, it sucks. If Nicole sucks, she sucks. She does a good job. Give her a due, man.
Yeah, and a lot of times, too, with, they're actors. They got news for a lot of people. Like, a lot of the tough guys you see in shows and stuff, they're not tough guys. Mm-hmm. And a lot of there's a reason they're actors.
They're acting.
Right, there's a lot of people you see on TV or movies, you go, man, they better be awesome to hang out with. You don't want to hang out with them in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Throw good news for you. Now, like I said, Mariah Carey, that Christmas song I can't get away from.
Yeah, I know.
And you were like, that's why I think she's the queen of Christmas. And you kept bringing up a certain other fella who's Canadian.
Yeah. Michael Bublé.
Yeah. I didn't realize he was Canadian. Huh. I'll be damned.
He is Canadian, right?
You said it.
All right. I don't know.
I'm almost positive he's Canadian.
Canadians don't celebrate Christmas?
No, they do. But they also celebrate Boxing Day.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, throw ask me every day, say, when is the Christmas special coming out? Don't worry.
When is it coming out, Ted?
Michael Bublé Christmas special called Michael Bublé's Christmas in the City. Airs December 6th on NBC.
Christmas in the City.
The thing about Bublé, right? I don't dislike him. I don't like him. I'm 100% indifferent to him. But based on what I believe his strengths would be, he's built to do Christmas.
Yeah,
right?
And I agree.
If he did nothing else all year, I get it. He should do Christmas. Harry Connick Jr., on the other hand, he could do Christmas. He'd probably do great at Christmas. But he could be a year-round crooner. But I feel like Michael Bublé, there's just something cheesy about him. You're like, bro, you're built for Christmas.
Hey, I mean, look, I won't lie. I love his Christmas songs.
Yeah. Do Bublé.
Like Child of the City, but Christmas in the City.
Well, it's always Christmas in the City because I'm imagining he'll be in New York.
Christmas in the City.
Right. He'll be in New York, so it's always like, all right.
This meth in my coke ain't pretty. Christmas in the City.
White Christmas is the Coke.
All right. Do you know if you're going to show
kid, a girl named Cindy?
If you're going to show Christmas in an urban environment, how does the scene open? It always opens the same way, and I know because we used to hang out by these things buying Christmas trees. The barrel fire.
Oh, God, you're right,
It's
man.
always the barrel fire.
Because if you live in the city, you're dead broke, and your only source of heat is a fire that you've lit, right? In a random trash can in an alley. That's what life is exactly like.
Right, I'm just like, every time there's Christmas in the city, does it have to start that?
What do you wear in your hands? Fingerless gloves.
Fingerless gloves.
Nobody has full gloves.
Yeah.
They're all about that frostbite, dog.
And there's just three dudes sitting there in great moods, drinking crappy liquor out of a small brown bag, and they can harmonize the hell out of it.
But great Tims.
Yeah.
You're choking the hell out of your Tims. All right. You know what? I'm not into true crime stuff, but I'm sure if you live with a woman or you're dating a woman
you
or
watch
you know
drug stuff.
I guess that's
I mean, you are.
They don't call it true crime.
You're very selective.
But it's true crime.
It is crime based on drugs. If it's crime based on, I don't know, shoplifting, you won't watch it. But if it deals with coke or anything you don't do, you're in.
100%. But true crime to me says it's going to be like
a boyfriend killed a girlfriend, or a wife killed the husband, whatever.
Or a mom killed the kids.
Gotcha. So Lifetime.
So, Miles, you're not wrong. I do like based on actual events.
Okay.
I'm watching 2 series currently that are crime series, Bad Blood and Narcos.
I see how you separate it. Now, you don't like true crime, but you like based on actual events.
I think drugs should be legalized, is what you're saying.
Well, I think they should be.
I do too.
I agree.
Yeah, but okay, here's a prime example. So if you like true crime, ladies and Ted, the podcast Happy Face is going to be made into a series for Paramount Plus. Does anybody in this room know what Happy Face is about?
I do not know.
Okay, this is what true crime is weird. The story about a woman named Melissa Moore who discovered that her dad was a serial killer when she was 15 years old.
Oh, I can see why that's happy.
Yeah, her dad was known as the Happy Face Killer. He would draw happy faces on the letters he would leave for the authorities.
Okay.
He murdered at least 8 women in the 90s. Here's what's sick.
I'd have called him the Watchman Killer. That's me.
The series follows Melissa as she's contacted by the father to take credit for one of the victims, then gets wrapped up in the investigation.
Okay. Yeah. Who doesn't want to watch that?
See, that's what
just in time for Christmas.
Well, also, and Miles, using your theory, the shows I watch have a code. Okay. Right?
All right?
Gangsters kill other gangsters. It's about money or a drug debt. You know what I mean? This is just psychos killing to kill and like drawing happy faces. These people are weird. The shows I watch involve business. And also, there's not a lot of time. That's what I like.
Yeah.
It's just quick and over.
Yours, which called business formal.
That's right.
It is. Is there a football game on tonight? I'm not sure. There's
I'm not watching it if it is.
College football, I think.
Fins up. Oh, Mike has turned on you. I don't know that I'm going to watch Kimmel tonight, but I just like talking about his first guest, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch, yeah. If that's a sex move.
I wish I was more mature.
That's going to be the equivalent to the next big dummy. If you thought Benedict Cumberbatch was this.
Yeah, all right.
You're wrong. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream, he allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimated.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy, an obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A woman is stunned when a dinner date disappears during the meal, only to find him naked in his car. Meanwhile, a hiker calls in a false medical report for a helicopter to get off Denali because the trek down was too far. Cinema worker wants you to know that they have cameras in the theater and know that you are having sex. Meanwhile, sex on a sand dune in Spain is destroying them, and the government objects. And a bill has been introduced in South Carolina to lower the drinking age to 18. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
And on top story, we go to the lovely world of the internet where one woman made a shocking revelation. The woman uploaded a video to TikTok where she admitted that people are going to movies with the idea of a little sneaky intimacy are not as hidden as they think. She revealed that employees at movie theaters not only have secret cameras that are hidden inside the theaters, but they also have night vision goggles that allow them to keep an eye on the moviegoers inside.
Wait a minute. The employees at movie theaters have night vision goggles?
I don't think they have them personally, but I think there might be a set in the office somewhere in the back. Need to be able to see inside.
Really expensive?
Man. Well, yeah, so are movie theaters.
That's a good point. One word.
You can't say on the radio.
We're not there yet.
Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now back to the program.
Coming up in 6 minutes, the men's room happy hour.
Let me rephrase that.
Jeez, man.
Damn. How many things have gone wrong in the movie theater to the point where you feel that I understand there's cameras everywhere, but to get night vision goggles?
Right.
Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. That seems a little aggressive.
It does.
Sorry.
I've never hooked you. Well, the worst thing is you dropped it, but it took us all half a second to be like, oh, wait.
Did he actually say that? Hang on.
It's not the happy hour yet.
What time is it? Oh, shoot. All right. In other news, sorry, did I scare you there?
Yeah, a little bit. I was going to say, I don't even know the button. I've never done anything physically with a woman in there, but I definitely have snuck in some booze.
Right, stuff like that.
Done something with a man.
I snuck in Wendy's one time. Another news.
Late at a Wendy's?
No. I snuck in Wendy's one time at the movie theater.
Oh.
Damn, Ted.
Jeez.
Easy, bud. Another...
Did you dip your fry in the Frosty?
Dave's double stack. In other news, once more with TikTok, a woman told her story of a date gone wrong. Apparently, she'd been trying to get a date with a Tinder match for some time and eventually got one set up that included her friend as well. After going to the restaurant for dinner, they were waiting for a table when her date said that he was going to step out to his car as he had forgotten his wallet. After he didn't return for over 20 minutes, she figured that she had been stood up and went to go find him. She found him right where he said he was going to be, his car, but he was completely naked. Standing at attention, as it were. He then rolled down his window and propositioned the two ladies for a threesome, which is when they decided to bail the hell out of that situation.
Jesus, man.
That's a hell of a date.
That is quite a first date.
I mean, hey, aim high.
Right.
I like it. He swings for the fences, says, all right, let's see how
Walk
this
down on
works.
the tab, the whole deal.
Right.
Jesus.
Oh, there you go. We got a text. The cameras have infrared sensors. That's probably what they
So the cameras are the ones that can see.
My bad.
His groin seems awfully red.
I'm just picturing them walking around with, military grade stuff. That seems a little much for a movie theater.
Right.
Bravo 6 going dark.
Gotta wonder what movies you're most likely to see happen,
Yeah.
Is it a Marvel movie? Is it a romantic comedy?
It's got to be one where either it's been out forever or it's one that is just not gaining any traction. You went in there for the...
Right.
For
the purposes of...
Exactly. Hoping that it was empty. We go to Alaska where a doctor used an improper method of getting off of a mountain. He's an outdoorsman and decided to summit the tallest peak in North America, Denali. Unfortunately, he failed in his mission, but also didn't want to walk down the slope by himself, so he came up with a brilliant idea. He called emergency services and reported that he was experiencing the symptoms of hypothermia and needed to be immediately airlifted off the mountain. He was picked up, but when he was not able to back up his claims of near-death condition, he was then faced with several charges.
Good.
I need to get out of here.
Come on, man.
Right. Man. Yeah. I don't know.
Or just lie and say you're lost. I mean, anything, right?
Right. Maybe it's because they would get there quicker if he said that he was near death. Which is basically what getting hypothermia up that high is, but I don't know. A state representative in South Carolina is getting the ball rolling on some loosened restrictions. He's already pre-filed a bill that would lower the drinking age in the state down to the age of 18. Using the tried and true argument that if someone is old enough to serve their country, vote, and indebt themselves tens of thousands of dollars in student loans, they should be allowed to have a drink.
Agree 1,000%.
I do too. Yep. You just lost all your national funding for highways. You lost all your national funding for all these different things that are contingent on that. Right. So it's fine. You just got to pay for your roads.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. I'll go there and drink with an 18-year-old.
You bet.
You got to take care of your highways.
I like the way that they did it. I took a trip to Scotland about 10 years ago. The way they do it over there is you can drink at the age of 18, but you have to be 25 to buy, or maybe 23 it was.
So you got to be with the right friends or parent or whoever.
That way you're with somebody who is hopefully a little bit more responsible than a bunch of dumbass 18-year-olds who are just trying to get all messed up and, do that whole deal.
Unlike when I was 25, yeah.
And that is it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawkins out.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time on the Men's Room Happy Hour. Dirty Big Dummy is on the way next.
And that's where I can drop the F-bomb safely. In the meantime, we'll be all about this bitch for 90 seconds. So until then, please do what you do best, and for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.